When I was in high school, I had no game. I did not know how to talk or initiate conversations with women. It just was really cheesy. But I learned how to get phone numbers from my 3 partners, Moses, Mishon, and Black. This is for entertainment purposes only. It is not real and should not be used to incriminate, pocket watch, or tell my pastor. Enjoy the show. It started when we went to Ike's homecoming game. We were like, I think this was like our freshman or sophomore year in high school, and they was on it. They already had the bravado. They knew how to interact, and I was not as confident back then. It took time for me to grow into that, but we done hung out this whole game. They done got love. Girls giving hugs, saying they handsome, all this good stuff, complimenting. I ain't getting no play at the game. I'm the nerdy partner that's hanging with them, but these my boys. So we leaving Thorn Stadium. They cracking jokes like, dang, you ain't getting no play. Like, bro, you scared or something? And I was just like, I just told them, I was like, I don't know how to get girls' phone numbers. Like, I ain't got no game. They all laughed at me, of course, but they told me how to pull up. I pointed at a girl in the car and said, hey, give me your phone number. Her best friend stopped the car and I got the phone number. I was shocked. I was like, am I getting punked right now? It get better. She left. I go to another girl that I see that at this point, I'm just, hey, give me your number. I was going for broke. It's like when you make your first shot and it go in, what can you do from there? So after that, I'm just boom. I got like 5 numbers that night. And of course, they looking at me like proud big brothers. Like, yeah. Because at this point, I'm feeling myself. I said McDonald's off $2.49. And now I'm double time with the game. Now, I'm not going to say who that was because she probably watching this episode. But shout out to you. We forever locked in because you helped me get my confidence, and I appreciate you. If I had a daughter, I would not want her to give her number to a dude that just said, hey, give me your number. Didn't ask the name. And mind you, I'm hesitant, so I'm trying to find. Believe it or not, it still works to this day. Like, I guess some things never change. Who would have thought that, hey, give me your number would have been that simple? Because if you out there and you struggling to initiate conversations with a woman or anybody that you like, just say, hey, what's your phone number? Like, let me holler at you. And you never know. Because if they look in and they think you're attractive, they'll give you the phone number. And if they don't feel comfortable with that, then say, well, let me get your socials then. And it's that easy. I promise. All you got to do is just be confident in yourself, look them in the eye, and give them a nice smile. Whenever I'm faced with a difficult decision, I flip a coin, heads or tails, and then run with it. I don't double back. And how that helps me is I'm able to just say, it is what it is, and live with the consequences. Because one thing is for certain, if you do not make a decision, you will continually be stressed and the outcome is always going to be delayed. So I used to really struggle with analysis paralysis, and if you don't know what that is essentially where when you're faced with making a decision, whether it's big or small, you spend so much time contemplating the best choice to make that you never make a decision. So if you feel like you run into those problems, just flip a coin. And if you don't like the decision that the coin made for you, then that's how you know what decision you really need to make. Because lately, I have been spending a lot of time talking to my parents about my childhood and how they raised me. I have been actively unpacking some trauma that I've held on to my adulthood, and it is refreshing. And I'm talking about some real life experiences that they did not want to take accountability for, and I didn't want to take accountability for how I put them in a position to feel that way about things. But both of my parents did not come from stable households. They had their own experiences that shaped their perception of what a good parent is and how they should raise me. As the oldest of 3 boys, I could only imagine the stress that they dealt with raising us as best they could, because it felt like they were fighting to show each other and show us that they wasn't giving up on us. And I probably was the biggest headache for both of my parents. I got so much punishment and so many whoopings, but I wasn't abused.
Stop the cap.
Well, you know, the terminology has changed. They call it tough love, whatever you want to call it, but it shaped me to be the man I am today. And I'm really grateful for my parents, and I'm just glad that now at my big age where you want to kind of address the things that held you back or made you feel uncomfortable. And sometimes it can feel intimidating, almost like embarrassing to say, hey, this hurt my feelings or this affected me. And I want to understand and address it so that we can grow from it. They wasn't really trying to hear that at first. I just had to slowly chip at having that conversation. And part of that adjustment was just realizing how mannish I was as a young boy. You was gonna have to make something make sense to me in order for me to like do it. And in hindsight, I could only imagine being an adult and your child is expecting you to explain why he has to do things around the house that don't make sense to him, or do it in a way that doesn't align with the most efficient view of it. Like, I probably would have been irritated like my parents were. And just growing up, you realize you don't want to explain yourself to your kids, but by being able to explain stuff to them, you allow them to have understanding and grow. And then they can be held accountable for those things that they're aware of. It's almost like the phrase of staying out of grown folks' business. And now that I'm in grown folks' business, I don't want to be in grown folks' business. Like, I have to really take time and address grown folks' problems. And it is not fun. If you know a young child or a teenager, young adult that's eager to get in grown folks' business, share that with them right now. When I was young, I wanted to be in grown folks' business. I wanted to know who said what, who did what. But now that I'm older, if this is what grown folks' business was, I'm so grateful that was not my area of involvement. Like, people might have slipped up and said something around me that they shouldn't have said as a kid, and now I'm listening But nah, I don't want that no more. Oh no, keep me out of it. It's just that it hurt my heart knowing that I'm not able to wave a magic wand and fix my relatives' problems. But part of that is having the faith that eventually things will get better for them. And if they're watching this, I love you so much. Thank you for trusting me with what you share with me. And I'm praying that things get better for you. I'm tired of having to be the upstanding Christian man in the church that gives the healthy relationship that y'all fantasize about. First off, Christian men are not your obligation to what a healthy, responsible, faithful partner is. Because y'all put a lot of pressure on Christian men in the church that serve to be y'all husbands, and I'm sick of it. I am not a husband yet. I'm working on it. I'm growing into that direction. But I do not like the expectation that because I'm in the church and I'm serving, that any woman that's attracted to me, I have to treat them as if I want a long-standing future with, and that they need to be on the path to being my wife. It's not fair. And it really run us away from wanting to serve in the church. I don't date in my church. I think it is so difficult and so frustrating because they put this pressure on you to be a husband in a relationship. And to me, you either all the way in engagement and you married and you in that, or you're dating and figure things out. Like, everybody run into the whole, either we single, we dating, we talking, we got to understand, and it's complicated, all that. And that's just a lot of fiddle fodder. And I'm working on cleaning up my language, so bear with me. But why is it that we put this expectation on Christians I feel like a lot of Christians put pressure on each other to uphold this perfect Christian approach to dating, and I don't think that's healthy, nor do I think it's realistic. Because in the Bible they say marriage brings trouble, and a lot of these Christian influencers and pastors are pushing, you need to get married today. You don't need to date for a set amount of time. You need to be engaged and be intentional. And then you find out that they cheating on their wife, they cheating on their husband, they not happy, but they keeping up appearances. I know for myself, I am going to take my time, and I'm going to make sure that my first marriage is my last marriage, till death do us part. Unless one of us cheat, because other than that, we got to work through it. And I really don't believe in cheating. I haven't cheated on a relationship since I was in high school. Like, when I got out of high school, I let that stuff go. Now, I'm not saying that people didn't think we were in relationships that we weren't in, and they might have thought I cheated, but if I was single, I was single. Every day they go change the idea of what a healthy relationship is. And if you're trying to keep up with what social media, reality TV, or even people that you respect view what a healthy relationship is, you will be miserable, because what they need and what they operate in might not align with what is healthy for you.